were suspecting, that tonight, because the Steelers are on the clock, they're going to come out and they're going to take Joey Porter. But Derpy is saying that Brian Branch should be who they pick. What's the deal, man?
I just think Brian Branch is better because of past history with Penn State corners.
That doesn't mean anything. Like the school you come
It does
from,
mean something.
No, it does not. That is the dumbest thing ever. When people say that, that means nothing. So we should never. So no quarterback from Ohio State should ever be drafted because they never had a great one. So they just never look at a good one from Ohio State. Then that makes zero sense. You're shooting yourself in the foot by doing that.
Name one guy. Name one guy Penn State has produced a corner.
Let's see.
That actually did something in the NFL prior to 2000.
That doesn't mean a goddamn
after
thing.
2000.
You know
name
what?
One
you know
guy.
what?
Name one guy. Please name one guy.
It literally does not matter. It does not matter.
It does.
There, it does not matter. We can have intelligent sports talk. That does not matter. Brian Branch would fit this team better because he plays multiple roles. He can come in and play nickel. He can come in and play safety. He can come in and play down linebacker.
You gotta undo it because I can't see anything.
I'm tired of his I'm tired of his nonsense. I'm tired of him.
Okay, well that's what the show is. We're gonna debate these things. That's all right.
Yeah.
So hold on, please. Hold on. Stop.
I'm gonna keep coming back.
I want you to keep I need all of the video on my screen.
No, you don't.
I have no video of myself. Derpy just came back up.
Yeah.
Do whatever we got to do to get the things the way that it was.
It's there. It is. I will end the stream right now. If my God.
I don't understand why you're ending the stream. I can't see myself. I need that to be changed.
Oh no.
I can't do that. I kicked Derpy out because
you undid it because I was looking at everything that I looked at, and then all of a sudden it was just you. Now it's just you and Derpy.
I did nothing. And I'm watching the stream live. I'm watching the stream live now, and everyone's there.
I understand that, but I don't see me, and that's what's important to me. I need to see.
I don't care about that. I can.
Well, I do because you undid it. I was looking.
I didn't undo a thing. I have no
Derpy,
control over your computer. I see Derpy. I see me. I see
that's fine. But let's figure this out because I
don't know what to do.
Okay, well let's figure it out. Because my video says that I'm on video.
Yeah.
All I see at the top is you and Derpy, and then you're in my big screen. I literally lost myself.
I don't know what to do there.
This happened the other day, and in the whole last 45 minutes of the show, I couldn't see everything. And, and then like you said, I went back and watched it, and everything was there. But I need to get it back to where it was. That's. Here. Maybe I should go out and come back in or something.
Yeah, go out and come back in.
All right.
Oh, there we go.
There we go, Derpy. Now you and I can have a good talk. But no.
1v1 this, man. 1v1.
We've won. 1v1. You know what? Hold on. There we go. Let me just mute you. But no, Brian Branch, he can play multiple positions on the defense, and Porter, he's just an outside corner. So it's, what do you want? Do you want someone who has position flexibility, or do you want a lockdown, shutdown corner?
I just think there's better, value.
But like
players.
I just hate when people go, "Oh, you can't draft someone." Yeah, I just hate when people are like, "Oh, you can't draft someone from that school because no one from that school has ever done anything at X position." To me, that's a silly argument.
And plus, Porter grabs a lot.
He does. He's a big physical corner. He does like to play handsy, which can be tricky in the NFL. Whereas
Mike, are we still live?
Why I'm nervous
still
about
everything is still okay.
Yeah, everything's still running. But I get where you're coming from. Like Branch, he has positional flexibility. He can play like linebacker in the nickel or in the dime. He can play safety. He can play slot corner. Whereas Porter Jr., if you want like a shutdown corner for the next 5, 6, 7, 8 years, he's going to be your guy. So it's going to be either one wouldn't be bad. It's just what you want them to do.
Either one. It's just
yeah.
I would prefer
but you just don't like him because he went to Penn State.
No,
Ohio State had. But no, I
just think there's better players in value than Joey Porter Jr. at 32.
Yeah, I get that, but I wouldn't be upset if they take him. I prefer Branch just because he can play all over the field. Whereas Porter, you have to remember though too, there are times last year teams didn't even throw at him. because that's how good of a shutdown corner
Yeah.
he was. They didn't throw at him. So if you can get someone
It's
like
just
that in
he's
the NFL,
grabby.
yeah, but that can be taught.
And
a
when
little.
he's beat, he's beat. He bails himself out by grabbing.
Yeah. Hey, if you can get away with it, that's what the greats do.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Two Dumb Yinzers. This is episode 297. Got a lot. We got
That was a great 1v1 battle right there.
We have a tremendous show today. We have a lot of things going on. The Pittsburgh Steelers are on the clock, number 32.
Yes.
Be the first pick tonight in the second round of the NFL draft. Of course, if you caught it last night, it was on forever. You know, one thing that I am going to take and we're going to implement on this show that I taken from the draft. You know, every time Roger Goodell comes out and they boo him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Every time Mike comes on, I'm going to boo. No, but it was a great. You know what? It was really good.
That's
How about
hurtful.
when he mentions Joey Porter Jr.?
How about when anytime you talk about anyone who's not from Ohio State, we just boo, because that's all you do. You boo. You're a hater, Derpy. You are a hater.
But the draft was amazing last night. A lot of crazy things went down. A lot of unexpected things went down. I thought the one thing that specifically caught my attention right off the top was the Houston Texans getting the 2 picks in the top 3.
Oh my god!
I thought
I know. I was
sons
like
of bitches.
flipping out.
I turned because I was watching it on my phone because I was, like I told Ryan, I was delirious. I was loopy. I was in and out of sleep. So I had it on my phone and I click away to something else. And then I get a text from a buddy of mine. He's like, what the hell is going on? I was like, did we make a major move? And I click back on and I see Texans are on the clock. And I thought, or are they just replaying it? And he's surprised they took Stroud. I'm like, holy shit, they moved up to 3. I love it.
It was amazing. Now you have those 2 picks, the Texans taking CJ Stroud and also taking Will Anderson Jr. However, that wasn't the strongest picks. You have the Eagles, who I thought had an even stronger draft, with taking Jalen Carter at 9 and taking Nolan Smith at 30. You know, who has the better draft here out of these 2 teams in the first round?
Eagles.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Eagles. I do agree there. That was that
the richer get rich, I guess, fellas. The richer get rich.
You're getting 2 players who probably can start right away. Where I think CJ Stroud's going to take any. Like,
they literally have the 3 best players from that championship team.
Yeah, like it's going to take a while for young quarterbacks to get ready. You know, like we said before, you know, Big Ben is the outlier. You know, not everyone's going to come and be a starter right away. So I think it's going to take maybe about half a season before CJ Stroud gets comfortable, kind of like Kenny did.
Hopefully it's after we play them.
Hopefully too. I don't want to see Stroud click during that game. No. But no, I think Texans had a good draft. The Eagles, oh my God. They didn't have to do anything. They just sat there.
They have Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter. Think about that.
F them.
And now Eagles. They have Nolan Smith too.
F the
Eagles. 3 best players on that national championship team.
Real quick, I do want to say this, Mike. I don't have a problem with you muting Derpy. I just don't know what happened. Like I said, it only happened once.
It's all good, bro.
It was kind of a freak thing.
It was a 1v1 battle.
Because it never happens. It only happened one time. As many times as you muted Derpy, I've only had it happen once.
Like
when it happened again, I thought I have to at least address it because it just makes it more difficult on my end.
It's all good. It's
my emotions ran high in the first 2 minutes of the show. I blame Derpy because I see that Kenny Pickett picture pointing at me every goddamn day.
Oh, I love it.
I'm pointing at you. Got
the big derp dog. You got Kenny pointing. I love it.
No, it was too much for me right off the bat. Oh God, seeing you in the studio on Sunday is going to be fun.
Let's go over our 17th. Let's go over 17.
We'll get to 17 in 1 second. Because there's a very interesting concept to the 17th pick. Now we got Broderick Jones. Now this gentleman, this young man from Georgia, he had given up no sacks this season, 445 pass blocking plays, most in the SEC. So if anybody that was disappointed, which there were a lot, myself included, you didn't get an opportunity to get Paris Johnson Jr. because, Kyler Murray was, putting in the work. And I don't think he was going to stick around long enough for us to get him anyway, unless we in fact, put some kind of trade deal together to get up that far. So Paris Johnson Jr. was gone. What's his name? Like Straczynski, he went to Tennessee. So at this point in the game, Broderick Jones is your best option, correct? Was there anybody else that we could have taken at the tackle position at that point that would be better than what we did?
Oh,
absolutely
God, no.
not.
No, because like on some people's like draft gurus board, he was either 1 or 2 on their board. So
I think we got a dub here.
Yeah, it was a major coup that they pulled off, being able to get him, and I'm sure we're going to get into why it was an even better move down the line here in a minute. Who they screwed over, who helped them. It was I think Broderick Jones, he was someone I forgot about as we kept going along talking about the draft, because we kept talking about Paris Johnson and Straczynski. Then Anton Harrison. Oh, he's a beast. He's a beast. He's one of the most athletic players on the line coming out. That I saw a video today. It was like when he was.
The only problem,
I don't know if it was
technique.
That can be taught.
Yeah,
that can be cleaned up. Yeah, but
from everything else, he is a dog.
Beast. He is a beast. Like there's a video where he was working out with the Steelers O-line coach. I don't know if it was pro day or at the draft, and he just like
he legit
he chucked his now new boss, and I love it. And I have to think they're probably like, this guy's a stud. He's not afraid to go out there, and he doesn't care who he's going to manhandle. And I like it. And my God, playing against those edge rushers coming out of the SEC. Yeah, you want to talk about SEC bias? Like, at least he was going up against the best of the best in college, and he's going up. He went up against people who were drafted in the first round and held his own. This kid is a stud, and I can't believe we forgot about him as we were talking about tackles, because he was projected to be gone. It wasn't even Steelers didn't even talk about him. No one from Pittsburgh media was talking about him. It was one of the best kept secrets in the draft.
Now they had their eyes. And some things happened here. They had their eyes on Gonzalez, Christian Gonzalez, and apparently he had a poor visit. So I don't know how much this plays into it, but we're at the 17th position to draft, and the New England Patriots at 14. Now we know the Steelers knew that the Jets, they wanted Broderick Jones. They wanted Broderick Jones bad. They planned on drafting him. So New England,
the Jets gonna jet.
So the New England Patriots, they accepted a trade where we bumped up to 14 and they dropped down to 17. So you would think to yourself, well, is a person watching the show not understanding entirely that the Jets are this adamant on getting Broderick Jones? So here's what happens. People were suspecting we're going to bump up to get Christian Gonzalez. So we bump up. And New England Patriots do this because they don't want this is crazy how this works, isn't it, guys? The New England Patriots don't want the Jets to get Broderick Jones. So what they did, because they're in the same division, so what they did was traded with us. So we'll take Broderick Jones. They fell back 3 spots. Plus they get a 4th round draft pick. And they also got their guy
this year.
Christian Gonzalez, who a lot of people were suspecting that we were going to take. So there was a lot that went into this little period of time, and a lot of people don't understand that. And it's crazy because this is going on all through the draft. We are just on top of the stuff that's related to Pittsburgh. So at all times, there's moves being made. There's things that are happening constantly. You know what? If you don't love the draft, it was something that I really loved growing up, but more now that I'm a little bit older and I like to get into the ins, the outs of the game and every part of it. This was exciting. This draft was exciting, guys.
It was great. And Derpy, you're right. It was this year's 4th round pick. But yeah, the drama around that pick, because my God, we totally forgot to look about what teams are going to be wanting.
Which is why 32 is interesting.
Yeah, 32. We might trade back from 32, pick up a couple picks along the way. But right now, this pick, what we did, and it's great. New England continuing to screw over people in their division is beautiful, and how Pittsburgh and New England teamed up together to screw over the Jets, it makes it even better because everyone hates the Patriots. A lot of people hate the Steelers because we have so much great success, and we're able to do this to screw over New York. Makes it even better. Screw over Aaron Rodgers.
I like the Jets. I'd rather screw over the Patriots, but you know what? This worked in our favor. We got our guy. And you know what? We were able to make that draft pick because New England
Yeah.
wanted something that we had access to at the moment. So you know what? It worked
Yeah.
out for everybody.
It really worked out well for New England too. They took the gamble that Gonzalez would continue to slide.
Right.
Maybe Gonzalez had a really good interview with the New England Patriots, and Belichick's like, "You fucking tank every goddamn interview, or I will tank your goddamn career. We're picking you." And Gonzalez like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah.
You know what? I
that-
could say this one thing about Patriots fans. I kind of appreciate the Patriots for this a little bit.
Now
For
you can
moving
mute
up and
him.
getting Broderick. Just a
Now-
little bit.
now you can
not
mute
much,
him, please.
Just a little bit.
Okay, there we go. No, it's too late. I'm
right.
too tired. I shot my wad a minute into the show with my anger at Derpy.
I said just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not. I still hate him. But
You know
just
what?
a
I'm
little
still
bit. I
mad at
appreciate
Derpy
it.
because he made my anger spread over to you. That's not fair.
No,
Throwing
I
out the
don't
ire
care.
of
I
my
just needed
hatred
to.
that
I just
Derpy
needed
was.
I just needed the system to be set
I
up
don't
right.
ca-
I didn't care
I
what
don't
Yinzers
care
were
what
fighting
you
about.
could see.
And you guys, I really encouraged you guys to duke it out on the air, so that's fine.
I know.
I just needed the show to be running right.
It was running.
It was not running correctly.
It was running for me.
Well, that's fine. Listen, so
Want me, want me.
all right, so we're going to talk football. The
Yeah.
one thing that I think is it has to happen. That has to happen, despite who we pick at 32.
Yeah.
It has to be a cornerback, and for a couple reasons. If you look down the list of the 16 different AFC teams, about 14 of them have quarterbacks that could either throw all over the place, or they have young quarterbacks that are getting into the position to be good. There's a lot of quarterbacks in the AFC. They're stacked. We were talking about it yesterday, and I looked at the list yesterday, and it's insane. There's no way that we can't mess around and not get a cornerback at this point. You guys were talking about trading back. I understand maybe, we could trade back and get some extra picks in the 4th round, 5th round, whatever, something later on down the line. But here's the deal. We got 3 picks today. We're picking at 32, 49, and 80. I say you cover your bases and get your guy right now, whether it be Brian Branch, whether it be Joey Porter Jr., whoever it's going to be. And we'll ask you guys later on who you think it's going to be. But, whoever it is, they can't mess around. They got their tackle. We knew that was priority number 1. We looked around. We looked at our options. We seen what was available. And then we got the best possible guy. I think there's no way in the world that the Pittsburgh Steelers do not take their guy at corner right today as the show starts. Pick one. Any of you guys disagree with that?
I can see that there's still a decent amount of good corners left.
There's a lot of better
ahead,
players than corner.
But
Still
you
on the
need your
board.
corner. We have to fill that position. There's no way that we could go much further than this without
I
filling
wouldn't
that
be
position.
surprised if they get Benton.
Yeah, because you still have here's some corners that are available. You still have Brian Branch, that corner / safety. PZ Jr. Keely Ringo is still available. Who else is still available from the corners? I'm scrolling down.
Stevenson.
Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson out of Miami.
Phillips is still on the board.
Phillips is still at the board from Utah. DJ Turner from Michigan still there. There's still some good
Cam
corners.
Smith, I believe.
Cam Smith from South Carolina is still there. There's still some good corners there to where if they pass on 32 at corner or trade down, they can still get a really good corner. Yeah.
Let me ask you this.
They can still get a really good corner.
With that being
even
said,
at 42.
with that being said, let me ask you this. Do you think they're going to take a corner at 32?
Yes.
Derpy?
Yes, but I wouldn't count on a trade. Or even Benton from Wisconsin.
What's the deal with Benton?
Keanu Benton, he's a D tackle.
I wouldn't count him out.
You know what I was looking at last night? I was looking at our depth chart, and I thought, what do we got going on in the middle of the line? I thought the defensive line was a bigger issue than what it is. The gentleman that we brought over from the Chargers about a month ago, they have him penciled in the starting spot, guys.
Oh,
yeah, the nose tackle position for us. Does that work for you? Think of what we were last year. Think of where we want to improve. I want to get better. Does that guy being in the middle of the defensive line starting, is that going to work? Is that something that we could rely on right now, or?
Oh God. Like he's only played a handful of games, in the NFL, so it's hard to judge. That's why someone like Keanu Benton out of Wisconsin, that's why Derpy's targeting him, or even like Siaka Ika out of Baylor, the two big bodies that you can stick in the middle of the line. That's why I think D line might be a pick here, because Finoku, he hasn't really done a whole lot in the NFL. So you want to trust him?
How long has he been in the league?
That's what, 2 years now.
Okay, so
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if he was in the league for 8 years and only played a couple games, I mean, that'd be one thing. But he's only been in the league for 2. What's been his issues? He have injuries?
No, he was just he was an undrafted rookie free agent, I believe, or a lower round pick, to where he had to he's working his way into being a player. But if you can get one of these guys in the draft now that's further along than he is, pencil them in as a starter and him as a rotational D tackle, I would be more comfortable.
Yeah,
because I've seen Ben play. Me and Mike seen Ben play, and he's
good. He's a beast.
He's good.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't trade down and get someone like Massey Smith in the first round. I saw a lot of people talking about maybe taking him, but Benton, Ika, I'd like those two over Fehoko or whatever his name is.
Yeah. Do you think Finoco can do the job? Let's just say, things go the way that they're going. Let's say we take our corner today. Let's say we pick somebody else. We get a edge rusher. We get this, we get that. And it comes down to it, and we get, maybe a 5th round nose tackle. And we go into camp and season gets ready to start. Are we okay with Fehoko, being there, being that starting nose tackle until something, maybe next year we're going to go get that guy. We're going to go get the best nose tackle out there or whatever. Do you think that this guy can hold his weight as this team moves forward?
I think between like him, even Montravius Adams, and they also have like Armand Watts on there as well too. Yeah. So I think between those three, I think they're gonna ride and die with those three.
Where is Leo? Is he an end, or is he an?
Yeah, he's an end. Yeah, he's an end, and because he's the skinnier of the two of the D lineman, almost like built like an edge rusher, like an outside edge. So yeah, if they do take a D lineman, I'm looking like later in the draft, if they trade back and get more picks, like Moro Ojimo, or oh my god, I always butcher his name. The dude out of Texas, big bastard on the D line there.
Yeah,
I'm looking at him to play on the edge and move Wumbley to the outside. Maybe try him as a stand-up edge rusher, which because they said they don't know, they don't have a real set spot for Leal. They were saying in that pre-draft press conference, like, we're going to put him wherever we kind of like saying we're going to find a spot for him. So that's why I was saying Moro Ojimo out of Texas. Yes.
You know what could be an option with 32?
What do we got?
The Lions. They got 2 in the second round.
Yeah, I saw that.
They had a nice first round.
I didn't like. You
didn't like the Jack Campbell pick at 18.
No, and I didn't like
the
trading
Jahmyr
down.
Gibbs at 12.
I didn't like that at all.
You didn't?
I didn't like it at all because you have Swift,
especially the running back pick.
They've got good people with other positions, and they needed.
They need to focus on defense. I don't know why they drafted running back.
Yeah, but they just signed David Montgomery to a pretty good free agent contract.
And then
they have DeAndre Swift, and then Jahmyr Gibbs. It makes no sense to me unless they're going to move on from Swift and then rotate between Gibbs and Montgomery. I would like it that way.
There's no sign that are showing that they're even going to do that, right?
No, it sounded like Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be their guy right out the gate, and Jack Campbell is going to be starting in their middle linebacker right away. And looking at their D line or defensive depth, he pencils in right as their number 1 already. But I don't know. I just thought you can get him in the second round. So that's what threw me off. That's why I was thinking, my God, you go and get. Because they were still picking when Jalen Carter was available, correct? Before they traded back. So I thought you would have went with him first, and then if you would have went Jalen Carter and then picked one of these other guys, I thought it would have been a much better draft for them. But like I was saying at the top of the show, we won't know for another 3-4 years who's right, who's wrong. But right now, just on paper, way everything's looking, I just
I
think it was
really
a
thought
bad
they would
draft
take
for them.
Parker.
I just thought it was a bad draft there. There are much better players there than Gibbs and Jack Campbell.
One thing that was brought to my attention leading up to the draft was a couple guys that I've met through our site and our social media. They argued that this was going to be one of the better quarterback drafts since the Dan Marino draft in '83.
Ooh.
I'm looking at these guys and I don't know. I mean, really, the five guys: Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson, and the guy from Tennessee are really the only five guys I'm seeing here. And you know what? I'm not really that impressed.
No, like because that Marino draft, who all was in that Marino? That was what, 85?
It was
Yeah.
83, 84, 83.
83. I just want to take a look at those quarterbacks that were taken. You had John Elway, Jim Kelly, Dan Marino.
Ooh.
You have to get three Hall of Famers out of this draft class. I don't see it. For me, the ceiling on these guys is going to be good players, good franchise quarterbacks, not Hall of Fame quarterbacks. My God, like the closest
As
one
of
to
right now.
the closest one to this was the Eli Manning, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger draft, where you had 4 Super Bowl champions out of that draft.
Yeah.
And this one, the John Elway one only had his 2 Super Bowls, and those 3 had the 3 Hall of Famers. Where I think that Eli,
a lot of Super Bowls lost between those teams. You figure the 4 with Jim Kelly, Marino's 1, and John Elway's 3, or how many?
Yeah,
3 finally won.
Yeah,
they lost a lot of Super Bowls.
They went to a lot of Super Bowls, but 3 Hall of Famers in that class, 3 Hall of Famers in the Roethlisberger draft class. I don't see 3 Hall of Famers out of this rookie class. Like I think they can put up better numbers than those guys, but that's just the way the league's going.
I haven't seen this gentleman say much about this ever since this was said on our social media site. So maybe he realized. My other question about quarterbacks: were either one of you guys surprised when the Indianapolis Colts chose Anthony Richardson over Will Levis? Levis did slip into the second round. We're either one
a little bit, but not much.
Surprised that Anthony Richardson goes in the top 4. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but I thought on the screen last night it said he only played like 13 games total or something in college or something insane. What's they're just banking on this guy is going to be the next Superman athlete, and I think they went with that. What do you think about what Indianapolis did?
Go ahead, Derpy. You go first.
A little bit, but not much, just because of his combine, I guess.
That's what. Yeah, he put up some monster numbers at the combine. He's a great,
athletic as hell, right?
Athletic as hell. You have to only playing 13 games. They really had to dig deep into his game tape to study.
Yeah,
you only have 13 games to choose from, to look at. And you hope with what you saw there, his athletic ability, how he changed his throwing motions at the combine. So you're projecting in your head, okay, here's where he is now. Here at the end of the season. Here he was at the combine, at his pro day. Okay. If he got a little bit better in each one, imagine what he can do under us, under our tutelage, under our coaching. And they're probably assuming, okay, how great of an athlete he is, he will project better in the future than Will Levis is right now. Levis might be maybe a better player right now, but in the long run, we're projecting Richardson to be better. So you're going to roll the dice and take him because he has the higher upside instead of someone who might have the lower upside. So it didn't surprise me, but it did at the same time because everyone was saying it looked like Levis was going to be the guy. The Manning family like him, which apparently that means something to the Colts, which if I was the ownership group, I'm like, I don't give a F what you think. I'm taking who I want. And they did. So it kind of did surprise me because he really wasn't leading to him. I think they wanted Stroud too. And when Houston pounced on him, they are like, okay, we're going to go to our next one on the board. And if he can continually to progress, because he changed his throwing motion from the end of last year, end of the season and up and through the combine. So he's showing he's willing to put in the work to better at his craft. And that's what you like to see. So you're hoping, hey, this kid's going to, just keep improving. And if he does keep improving, he could be the one. He could end up being the number one, kind of like how Ben was that third overall pick, that third quarterback taken, the one who had the highest potential if he put it all together. And if he does, he can go on and have a hell of a career, better than the other two, kind of like how Ben had the better career than Phillip Rivers and Eli Manning, the ones who were supposed to be more polished than Ben was.
One of my
So
favorite
sometimes
things about the draft.
you gamble on potential in the draft. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What happened to that picture there?
One of my favorite things about the process of the draft is that, you know, you hear all the talking up of these guys,
Mhm.
and then you get to watch them go play in the NFL and see if they translate over well. And I like that, because not everybody does. Some people do. Some people are big time, they're busts. Some
Mhm.
people that they over exceed, and I dig that whole part of it. I do want to talk to you guys about a little division situation we have here now. Of course, everybody knows Lamar Jackson. He hit the
Mhm.
lottery yesterday. He and the Baltimore Ravens finally decided to make a deal. It's a 5-year extension by a gazillion dollars. Now, with that being said, they go pick 22 and pick Zay Flowers. They throw a receiver in with their
That's
first round
scary
pick.
a little bit.
What are you guys thinking of that? Zay Flowers. Now he's out of what, Boston College?
Yeah, he's out
Yeah.
of DC.
Now is he?
That's a little concerning a little bit.
Yeah. Is there somebody else that you would have chose differently if you were picking a receiver for that Baltimore team?
Hold on, I want to take a look at the draft board because I forget how it fell, because I kind of fell asleep.
I did too, Mike.
Yeah, because JSN, Jack Smith, Najaba,
I think
went
they
at
wanted
20.
JSN.
Yeah.
Quentin Johnson went. So then it was between Zay Flowers and Jordan Addison.
And it literally was four receivers picked in a row.
It was too, yeah. But talk about a run-on position players
Yeah.
right there. So either one for me would have been fine. They're both, Zay Flowers is tiny, 5'8",
I thought
182, and they wanted Calvin Austin last year. Now this guy is a much better version of Calvin Austin the third, so why not? Why not get this speedy, crafty route runner and put him out there? You pair him with Odell, and then you have Rashad Bateman, then you have that big bastard at tight end and Mark Andrews. That's not a bad pass catching, a bad receiver / tight end.
Mark Andrews is, in my opinion, he's still number one in the list of receivers / tight ends that they have.
Yeah.
Wait, Quentin Johnson went to the Chargers?
Yeah, Quentin Johnson went to the Chargers. Yeah.
You had JSN go to Seattle at 20, Quentin Johnson to the Chargers 21, Zay Flowers to the Ravens at 22, and then Jordan Addison to Minnesota at 23.
I want to get to that Jordan Addison pick here in a second, but this Zay Flowers one, I like it. And
Quentin Johnson though.
He's a nice, crafty route runner. He's gonna be fun to watch, except when we have to play him. I don't want to deal with him. So yeah, but it was a good pick for them.
Let me segue over to Pitt for a second, Mike, because I do want to get into this Jordan Addison as well. The first player from the ACC was chosen in the draft, of course, was Kalijah Cansey from Pittsburgh. He went to at 19, he went to Tampa Bay. And, of course, Mike was talking about Jordan Addison, who is the receiver who formerly played for Pitt, and he went out to the USC. He gets taken 23rd overall by Minnesota. Mike,
That's a good pick for Minnesota.
About this Jordan Addison pick?
I love it. You're going on a team that has the best receiver in the NFL,
Jefferson.
And Jefferson. You're going to learn from him. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
It's a good replacement for Thiel, right?
Oh yes. God, beautiful. And he right now, my God, he might be their number 2 receiver right now.
Right.
And then you have TJ Hawkinson, the tight end, Delvin Cook. Addison's going into a very loaded offense to where he doesn't have to be the guy at receiver. He's
damn good.
Anyway, he's really good. Former Biletnikoff Award winner.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing, but you pair him with Justin Jefferson, even if Justin Jefferson doesn't really, quote unquote, take him under his wing and talk him through everything, teach him everything, or just goes, hey kid, just watch me, watch what I do, learn that way. That he's already a step ahead than a lot of these receivers that were drafted. So he landed in a perfect situation.
That dude is going to be scary.
It's going to be scary. Kirk Cousins will find a way to get him the ball. He's going to be used effectively in that offense. So, good pick. Good pick
And
for
in
them,
the
and a
words,
good landing spot for
in the
him.
words of Jordan Addison, let's go get paid.
Let's go get paid. Get that bank.
Here's this is going to be good for recruiting for Pitt because these are all Narduzzi's picks or his recruits was Cansey, Jordan Addison, and Kenny Pickett, who are all first-round guys over the last 2 seasons. They were all part of that ACC 2021 championship team. So this is going to be nice for Pitt as well for recruiting in the future. I would think, right?
Yeah, because if you can, coach can go, hey, look, I got these guys to the NFL. Imagine what I can do for you.
You're right.
So
that's
what
good.
you want. You want coaches that get people to the next level.
Let me ask you this now. So we're sitting here today. We have a definitive answer. I threw this out there the other day with Paris Johnson Jr. Today, we have a definitive answer. The Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line looks like this as of right now. Broderick Jones at left tackle, Isaac Siamalu at left guard, Mason Cole at center, James Daniels at right guard, and Chooks at right tackle. Guys, how comfortable are you with this offensive line moving forward into this season?
I'm a whole hell of a lot more comfortable than I was 24 hours ago.
Okay.
Plus we got some depth pieces too.
Yeah, you got a lot of depth. Now Dan Moore can now probably switch over to be he can be a swing tackle, bounce to where, okay, if someone gets hurt, I'm going to go play left. I've done it before. If Chooks get hurt on the right side, I'd rather have Dan Moore over on the right side than having to pass block the best rushers in the league. And you have good depth on the interior line. I'm loving it. I'm liking this line.
Derby, if Paris Johnson Jr. was the he was the in this draft, if you wanted a left tackle, this is who you were looking at. So let's call Paris Johnson Jr. a 10. Where would you put on a scale of 1 to 10 Broderick Jones being Paris Jr. as a 10?
9 or 9.5.
Really? Is that logical, Mike? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with it. Yeah.
You know what? Because I'm totally fine with a 9.5 if Paris Johnson was a 10.
Oh, I am definitely. I'm okay with that too. And my God, like a lot of places had him, PFF. They had Paris Johnson Jr. as the 16th overall prospect. They had Broderick Jones, the 20th overall prospect.
Okay.
So
we got a good thing here. We got a good
thing. Yeah, and they also had Skoronski at number 5 overall. So it all depends on like what you're looking for too. And I like it. And Darnell Wright, he went before Broderick Jones. So that kind of helped. That was a big surprise when I saw Darnell Wright go before Broderick Jones. That threw me for a loop.
And this guy's a bulldog. He came. These guys just won 2 national championships. The more and more. Don't get me wrong. The first, when we first got drafted, I was like, yes, this is a great pick. But the more and more I let it sink in, man, is it a great pick?
I was like, the minute they announced his name, I was pumped. I was jazzed. I'm like, because he's, like I said, he's the guy I totally forgot about because there was no conversation about Pittsburgh and him at all. It was all like, what would they do if they got Skoronski? What would they do if they got Paris Johnson? Then, what if they get one of these guys who plays the right tackle position? What would they do there? And this guy was overlooked. And my God, Ryan went down his resume, 0 sacks given up last year in the SEC. That is huge, huge.
With the edge rushers and guys like this that they got in the SEC, it's amazing.
Yeah, like one of the knocks on him. I was listening to the radio, and then I went and saw the report too. It was like he plays too aggressive sometimes. That's a plus for me.
Yeah, that's a plus.
If we were in the ballet, this would be a problem. But
that would be
right.
Yeah, if he's out there doing swan lake, kicking all the other ballerinas. No, I want my starting left tackle to have a little bit of a bastard streak in him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you can handle that, you can channel that, and that's what George Pickens. Last year, people was like, oh, he can be too aggressive sometimes, and Tomlin's like, yeah, I want that. I can channel that energy. I can't channel someone who doesn't have that aggression in them.
Let me ask you, fellas, who do you, Mike, and then I'm going to go to you, Derpy. Who do you, Mike, would you put money on the move that the Pittsburgh Steelers make at 32? You could say that they'll trade. You could say that they'll pick. But if you say they'll pick, I want to know the guy. You'd put your bottom dollar on this. What do you think happens tonight at 32?
Trade.
Really?
I think a trade. I think they're going to want to recoup because they have no picks in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. Yeah, you
Like
have
I
2
said,
seconds in
Mike,
the 3rd.
Lions.
The Lions, yeah, they are a hot.
They have 34 and 48.
Yeah, if you can draw, I dropped down to 34, drop down 2 spots, but I just don't. You're not going to get a lot of return. You might be able to get a 5th round pick out of it. So I'd
And you're
look
still
at
going to
that.
be able to get either one of those 2 defensive backs we've been talking about if you drop to 34. You would think, because
You would think, yeah.
you wouldn't think the Lions and whoever's sitting at 33 would
Cardinals,
take those 2 guys.
Oh God, I can see the
Cardinals
line.
may do it too.
I can see the Lion. I can see the Lions taking Porter Jr. and then the Cardinals taking Brian Branch to replace Buda Baker.
Yeah, yeah.
And then we're
And we'll get stuck
there's-
overpaying Buda Baker.
yeah, then we're stuck there holding our dicks, you know.
Yeah.
So
Which is
it's a gamble you take if you want to move down and get more picks. It's a gamble you take that the player you want
that's
is
why
not going
32
to be.
is so interesting.
Yeah, that's why it is so. But I think they're going to trade down, recoup some picks, and if the person they wanted at 32 is not there at say 34, I can see them moving down again, getting more picks to round out, the draft class. But I'm going trade down.
Derpy, if you got to put your money on it, what happens at pick 32 tonight?
My gut says Joey Porter, but my instinct says trade down.
Okay. Are you happy with Joey Porter?
I am, but I'm not. It's
Yeah.
50-50 for me.
Derpy. Yeah, I'm not allowed to hover over the remove
It's
button
50-50 for
anymore.
me on Porter.
You're hovering. I'm hovering over the mute. I'm hovering over the mute. No, I'm okay with either Brian Branch or Joey Porter Jr. I'm, they each serve a different role in that defense. So it all depends on what way they want to go. Both of them would be great. If you're able to get Broderick Jones and say Brian Branch, Broderick Jones, Joey Porter Jr., call it a day. You're done. I don't care about any of the other picks.
Right.
Because you got you solved a problem at 2 of the major positions on this team, tackle and defensive back.
So you got Patrick Peterson you just brought over. You got Levi Wallace on the other side. It's your safety spot. You got Minkah Fitzpatrick. You have Kazee, also
Keanu
Neal. So so before you chose this pick, this is what we're working with our defensive backfield, plus a few other guys, right? Mike Pierre and guys like this. So as you say, these 2 guys serve different purposes in the secondary. With all those guys that I just named, think realistically. Okay, this is what our secondary looks like. Which one of these 2 guys would fit best with that crop of our defensive backfield? Does just because they do serve such different purposes, which one of these actually fits better with what we have going on back there?
Better right now, today would be Brian Branch because he can be your slot corner. He can play safety. He can come down into the box, play like a linebacker role. For me, Porter would be the one for not just this year, but the better pick going forward because he can play outside corner. Because right now your outside corners are Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, and Akilah Witherspoon. And Witherspoon's been up and down in his career here. Peterson might only have for a year, so Porter would be the logical pick to be groomed to replace him going forward.
We liked Witherspoon last year, didn't he? Have something not last year, but the year before he had a
year before he had a great second half, and then this year he was doing bad, very bad, playing terrible, and then he got hurt. So you don't know who you're really going to get out of him. Where to me, Branch, he's that guy, that Swiss Army knife on that defense, can play anywhere.
Why would
Branch is hard though?
And Porter would be the guy that, hey, this is going to be my lockdown corner I project for the next 7 years. So
Branch hits hard though, Mike.
He hits hard, but that's not everything. He's a damn good tackler. Might be the best tackler in the draft.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. His missed tackle rate, I think, is one of the best in the draft. Where
one thing that
he tackles, he's a short tackler, like Derpy said, and he hits hard. And he plugs a lot of holes. But Porter, he can. Teams teams
He's a
didn't throw
lockdown.
it. Teams didn't throw at him, but
Porter
he
Island, he
has,
becomes that guy.
yeah. So it's like, what do you want? You
Right.
both are in today's football. You need both.
Right.
But right now, you can only choose one of the two. So
Which is what I mean.
Yeah, my idea would be,
They could trade back in.
They could trade back in. I would just roll the dice, roll a die, odd evens, one of them, whatever it lands on. You just pick that guy. Because I don't think you can miss on either of them.
One thing that really surprised me was this: when they said that there hasn't been an Alabama player picked first since 1987, when Cornelius Bennett was.
Oh
boy, was that threw me for a loop. No Alabama player was picked number 1 overall.
That's
since
wild.
the 80s.
That's wild for like the amount of damn good players that are playing in the NFL now that went to Alabama.
They
That's right,
consistently go through the Alabama system.
Because Tua slipped down. It was going to be suck for Tua, and the Dolphins didn't. They ended up not getting the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Guys, let's see. A couple of things here. Lamar Jackson again. He did sign a contract yesterday. I do want to welcome Mr. Jackson back. And I want to tell you why I'm going to welcome him back.
TJ Watt sacks.
He played 5 games against the Steelers. I think that he was eligible for 8 to 10. I can't think of what it is right off the top of my head, but he's only played 5. It seemed like every time we're on the schedule, he gets hurt. So this is the numbers that Mr. Jackson has put up against the Steelers in his career against us in 5 games. He went 56 for 94 for 634 yards. So 600 yards in 5 games. Think about that for a second. He's only thrown 4 touchdowns compared to 6 interceptions. He's been sacked 16 times.
Yeah.
He ran for 217 yards in these 5 games on 47 attempts. No touchdowns running, 6 fumbles, and 2 of those fumbles lost. Welcome back, Mr. Jackson. For some reason, I might be the only person in this division that us as Steeler fans, I just don't fear this guy. I know that he's amazing. I know that he could change the game in a drop the hat, and I know that he could bust off an 80-yard run at any given point. But you know what? He hasn't given us a reason to be scared of him.
No, it's like we said yesterday, between the Steelers and the Chargers, he's not good. You play him against the other 29 teams in the league, he's an MVP.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. Did Watt really do anything against him? Like, did Watt play in those games? I'm not being facetious. I'm asking.
He did though.
Okay. But it's just weird, like we have his number, but like you want to keep rolling the dice. That's the thing. You keep rolling the dice, keep rolling the dice.
You're eventually gonna get burnt.
You think the law of averages, it's gonna tip in his favor. I hope it doesn't. Yeah. I hope it doesn't, but it's like it's got to correct at some point.
Like the crocodile hunter. Something was eventually gonna get him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Goddamn stingray.
It's an overpay.
We do got to move on, guys. We got a handful of stuff here still. We only got about 10 minutes left in the show.
Yeah, we could do.
The number that came up yesterday, we was talking about the Colorado players that hit the transfer portal after Deion Sanders got there. 51 players from the Colorado Buffaloes hit the transfer portal after Deion Sanders got I don't know what it was. Mike tried to explain it briefly yesterday, but that is absolutely insane to me. That's that's a whole football team.
That's a whole football team.
He was like, I'm bringing luggage with me, and they're Louis Vuitton, and he was like more or less calling those guys trash bags. So they're like, see ya. Of course, they weren't that good anyway to begin with, that team. So
well, he now has the burden on himself to make sure that this team is better than they were last year.
Oh yeah.
Mike, I do want to, before we move on, I have to get a couple of football things out of the way. XFL playoffs this weekend, Saturday. You got your final 4 teams. They're going at it this weekend. Saturday, the Arlington Renegades are at the Houston Roughnecks. That game is at 7:00 tomorrow night, and they'll play the winner of the game on Sunday between the Seattle Sea Dragons and the DC Defenders for the championship. Now, this the latter game that I spoke about, Mike, Seattle and DC is 2-0 against Seattle this season, but only by a total of 5 points. They won both of those games and accumulated only the difference of 5 points. So I think that game should be good. I think if any upset's going to happen, it's going to be that Seattle team over DC, because it is such a good matchup. And you know what? It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat a good team 3 times in a season.
It's very hard. My God, it's nuts because that year, God, I forget what Super Bowl run it was. Like the Steelers beat the Ravens 3 times, and people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh my god, that when does that happen?" And it's very
08,
rare.
yeah.
Yeah, so
And also the
ooh,
competition, USFL,
heat
they're
it
also
up.
back in action for week 3. There's 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. New Orleans, 2-0 New Orleans travel to Birmingham to play the 2-0 Birmingham football team. I'm still learning the names for this USFL. It's brand new, so give me that little bit of learning curve. What am I looking for? The wiggle room to learn these teams, get
Wiggle.
down pat. And then also the other game, Memphis at Houston. They're both 0-2. On Sunday, the Pittsburgh Maulers, they travel to Philadelphia to play 1-1 Philly. And that's at 12 o'clock, and then 4 o'clock, New Jersey and Michigan. So check it out. There's your spring football. It's holding us over. We do have the draft, of course, and it's going to be rookie camp before you know it. But this football is still on weekly for us to watch. Guys,
Love it.
we
Love it.
are on the home stretch here. We're rounding third, if you will. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they are back in the driver's seat in the NL. The Atlanta Braves fall off yesterday, which puts the Pirates back as the best record in the NL and only second overall to the Rays, who are sitting at 21-5. Now the Pirates are 18-8, 10 games over 500. They played a game against the Dodgers last night. It was the rubber match game. That game came down to the Mitch Keller, again, another great start. He has 10 strikeouts, matches his career high, 6 innings pitched, only gave up 2 earned runs. Other than that, you had a back-to-back home run in the middle of the game between Connor Joe and Castro. They went back-to-back. This team is really hitting on all cylinders. We're 26 games into the season. As I told Mike yesterday, another 2 weeks from now, we're going to be a quarter of the way into this season. Things are looking really good. And one more note, that Julio Arias, the one that you tried pronouncing his name yesterday, Mike, he let up the most earned runs yesterday that he's let up since the start of the 2021 season.
Oh,
he hasn't let
Lord.
up this many earned runs since then. So, at some point, maybe people are going to start recognizing, hey, this team might just be okay.
They might, they're gonna they have a lot to prove. They have to continually to do it. It's just because, my God, we've been bad for how long, and you have to keep doing it. But it's nice to see they're still going. They are still going, and they're not stopping, and which is what they need to do. Just keep going.
I thought that loss to LA was vital. I thought, let's see what happens from here. Let's see if they come out tomorrow still. And it was wild because they threw one of those punted away kind of lineups yesterday. And I thought, oh, okay, well, he's not really taking this game serious. This team still came out. Every one of them guys dominated. Even Maggi, he started at third base. So that was really cool. Gave him an opportunity to play in the majors a little bit more. But that also, like I said, it was almost like a punt. I thought, we're kind of letting
that's
this
what
game.
It felt like.
But as I said, the Pirates, they win 6-2. The Pirates now, the starters going at least 6 innings in April. So far this year, they have gone 16 times. Starters have gone at least 6 innings 16 times. Last year, 0.
Oh my God.
Starters did not go 6 innings at one time to this point in last year's season. 0. So I think that this team is turning around.
They are turning it around. I just keep it going. My God, because it would be nice. Let's have one team make the playoffs this year.
You know what? I like the Steelers. I like the Pirates. I like what Pitt's doing. Penguins got to get back on the horse because I think, if we could get all these teams going, man, it'll take us back to them years, man, when things were good,
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while since it has.
The starters today are Rich Over the Hill, and he's facing Chad Cole. Now, if you remember, Chad Cole was drafted by the Pirates. He was nothing great. Yeah. Remember him? It was nothing great. He's sitting there with an 0-1 record, 7.36 ERA.
Ooh.
So, I mean, we got this guy who's not doing too well against Rich Hill. It's going to be interesting game, but you know what? The Nationals, they don't have a lot going on. They're sitting at last place in the NL East with a 9-15 record. You'd think with winning 2 games to 1 with LA, you should be okay with a team like the Nationals. Derpy, everybody's on good track except for me with this prediction because we all chose the next 9 games, which were 3 against the Dodgers, 3 at Washington, and 3 at Tampa. They're 2-1 right now. You go to the Nationals for 3, and then you go down to Tampa Bay. I picked what did I pick? 4 and 5, which
4
was
and 5,
crazy.
yeah.
But the only reason I did is because everybody else already had the good picks. So
Okay. You're just a hater.
I don't
You're
even
just a
understand.
hater.
Oh
You're
yeah,
just a
that's
hater.
right. That's true. I am. But the
Yeah.
but as I said, they're going down to the Nationals. We're gonna face these guys. You know, if we can win 2, maybe who knows? The way the Pittsburgh Pirates are playing, you might get a sweep. I don't know. But then going down to that Tampa Bay series is the one that I am itching to watch, because everybody that's a baseball fan and anybody that's even saying, you know what, maybe this Pirates team is the real deal. Maybe we'll be watching this series, even if you're not greatly into baseball, to see the Tampa Bay Rays at 21-5 and the Bucks at 18-8, which are their current records. I think even the most average baseball fan would love to just, you know, to see this, because how often you get to see this kind of matchup with the Pittsburgh Pirates and this freakish Tampa Bay team. I want to see how this plays out.
Who would have thought 2 historically bad teams, you know, battling out for like the best record in baseball?
Yeah.
I love
it. You got
this sports world is out of control right now.
Yeah, if it's a,
you have you have the Houston Texans doing the right thing in the draft. You have the Pirates and the Rays doing well.
If we're not screaming into the apocalypse at this point, I don't know what's going on.
You have the Minnesota Timberwolves and Giannis, you know, getting bounced in the first round by an 8 seed. What the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Colorado Avalanche are about to be eliminated from the playoffs. It's Obama.
But it's very interesting. I think that it should be good for baseball, the Pirates Rays series, and I think that it's going to be good for just the minds of the Pirate fans, because, you know, what do they say? We win this series. Now it's like, okay, you know, we're beating everybody they threw at us. Now we're getting a team that's legit. I mean, you can't get better than 21-5 at this point. If you know, so it's going to be very interesting. And if we could go down there and win that series, that would be a great confidence booster on all the confidence that we're already riding with. One other thing that I did notice is the St. Louis Cardinals are 8 games out of first place behind the Pittsburgh Pirates. Again, if this isn't a parallel universe or hell freezing over, I have no explanation. None.
It's wild. It is wild.
It is wild.
I'm loving it.
We are down to the 2-minute warning of the show. I can't believe it. Mike, why don't you go and tell everybody about the website?
I've never been so happy for the 2-minute warning than I am right now, just because I'm physically mentally just drained from the draft. 2dumyinzers.com, the number 2 DUMYINZRS.com. Head on over there for all your 2 Dumb Yinzers needs. If you catch us on YouTube, Spotify, Anchor. Oh my God. What else do we have there? Instagrams, Facebook links, and links to the merchandise store where, you know, I'm the reason why the Buccos are winning. I made the Bob Nothing merchandise gear after Ryan's great nickname for the owner, and they start winning and he starts spending money. So if we sell 0 units and the Buccos win the World Series, you can thank me. And that's all the praise I need. 2dumyinzers.com.
Go check it out, everybody. www.2dumyinzers.com. A lot of cool things over there. As Mike said, we are live all week long from Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Guys, we got time for a quick trivia here.
Yes, that's the only thing that's going to keep me awake.
Trivia.
This is a draft trivia.
Oh, now I'm getting jazzed again. We're talking the draft.
We're talking the draft.
All
Let's
right,
go.
here we go. Which of these following quarterbacks was not a member of the famed class of 1983?
Ooh.
One more time. Which of the following quarterbacks was not a member of the famed class of 83? Are you ready? You confident in this?
Yes.
Okay.
I was 3 years old when this happened, but I'm ready.
I wasn't born, so I'm 50-50.
All right. Mike was still shitting himself.
What do you mean was?
Which of the following QBs was not a member of the famed class of 83? A, Todd Blackledge. B, Tony Eason. C, Boomer Esiason. Or D, Ken O'Brien. Which of these following QBs was not a member of the famed class of 1983? Of course, Mike mentioned a few earlier. Unfortunately, none of their names are in this list of quarterbacks.
Oh God.
Was it A, Todd Blackledge, B, Tony Eason, C, Boomer Esiason, D, Ken O'Brien? We're looking for the person that was not in that class of 1983 quarterbacks.
Oh God. I know, Derpy. I'm going to give you a hint. Todd Blackledge was in that draft class.
Todd Blackledge was a Steeler.
Yeah, I forget who he was drafted by. Kansas City, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know he came. I know he came to Pittsburgh. Damn
I had
good
the starting lineup action figure of Todd Blackledge. I used to stick him in my. I used to put his nose in my nostril. I kid you not.
That might have been the most productive part of his NFL career. Tell you what, though, great color guy for college football.
Yeah,
and I think he does some pro football. He's a hell of a color commentator. God damn, I'm leaning towards either Boomer or Anderson. I'm gonna go with Boomer.
Well, there's nobody on here named Anderson, so I think
you had Boomer, Tony Easton,
Ken O'Brien.
Ken O'Brien, that's the one I was thinking of.
So which of the
Anderson,
following QBs
O'Brien.
was not a member of the
Boomer.
famed class of 83? Blackledge, Eason, Esiason, O'Brien.
Going Boomer.
Going Boomer Esiason. Interesting. Is that your final pick?
Yes.
All right. His final answer is Boomer. And Derpy.
I'm just gonna go with Mike's answer.
Yeah, you notice he's been doing that a lot recently.
Yeah.
I think
he's a little suspicious here.
I'm thinking he's telling me I'm old. He's making fun of Penn State. He's just trying to rile me up.
All right, Derpy's locked in on the Boomer Esiason as well, guys. Here we go. Which of the following QBs was not a member of the famed class of 1983? Both of the guys picked Boomer Esiason. The choices were Todd Blackledge, Tony Eason, Boomer Esiason, Ken O'Brien. They're saying that Boomer Esiason was not in that famed class with Dan Marino and Jim Kelly and John Elway. Let's see if they're correct. The answer is, guys, C, Boomer Esiason. Boomer Esiason. There you go. Finished off the week strong with the draft trivia. These guys did well this week. Mike, what do you got for us to send us into the weekend?
Oh my God. Don't get too high, don't get too low in your draft picks because you don't know how good they're really going to be for another 3 to 5 years.
And you think that they're going to trade that 32 pick because we are on the clock.
I'm leaning towards we are trading it away.
Okay, Derpy, what do you got for we head to the weekend, brother?
I'm just gonna say this line from a song.
Okay.
We're from the town with the great football team. We cheer the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you go. A song that was way before you were born. So that was a good one. I enjoyed that, Derpy, as well. And you did say what were we gonna do with the pick number 32?
Either draft Porter or trade.
There you have it, guys. You got it. You heard it here first. Draft night 2 tonight. I believe it starts at 7:00. You have rounds 2 and 3. So see what's going on. The Steelers are on the clock as we speak. So tune in immediately as soon as it comes on. We will either be drafting somebody or trading or doing something. So a lot of cool stuff going on right off the bat, and stick around because we do pick 3 times tonight, 32, 49, and 80. Also, the Pittsburgh Pirates back in action today against the Nationals. That game is at 7:05 this evening. Watch the Red Hot Buccos go at it with the 9-15 Nationals and see if we could keep up pace with the league leading best Tampa Bay Rays, who we play in the next series Monday. Actually, to start next week, we'll be starting that series off. But hey, everybody from the two dumb Yinzers here hopes that you have a great weekend. Be safe, enjoy the draft by all means. We will be talking about it Monday morning. So come back and join us. For Mike, Derpy, the two dumb Yinzers, Ryan, have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.